So I know you have a really interesting approach too, in regards to not just looking at the people, but the technology. So customer experience technologies. Like, what are some tips you'd give to other CX leaders, like when it comes to finding the right technology, managing the risk of, implementing or launching a new technology, any strategies, negotiation, anything like that?
Sure. Yeah, we've definitely tried to be very forward focused when it comes to technology, for the reason that, this is true, I think, of every industry, of course, but it's especially relevant in the customer support space, where technology is growing at leaps and bounds and is really changing the nature of how customers interact with businesses. So part of it is just wanting to be conscious about technology and make sure that you're staying ahead of the curve and not getting behind it. Because I view technology almost kind of like staffing. It's one of those things that once you're behind the curve, it's very hard to get ahead of it because of the amount of investment that you have to put into reaching your goals. So we've always tried to be very forward focused on technology. One thing I think that it's great to take advantage of in this current climate is just the wide multiplicity of technology focused companies out there that have cropped up in the customer support space throughout the globe. So the US, and we work with companies in Ireland and in Belgium and in the UK and in Spain and in France. But so many companies have cropped up in the artificial intelligence with the robotic process automation space, where they're very small companies. They start with a great idea and they try to implement that technologically speaking, and they're out there looking for companies who are willing to give their technology a try in some beta version. There's just a lot of that going on. And it's a great opportunity not only to experiment in the technology space, so you get a sense of what works for you and what works for your infrastructure and what works for your agents, and to do so at relatively low cost, because you're working with companies that are primarily interested in getting their name out there, and they're interested in someone who would give them feedback on their product and would try their product, and maybe they want to do a case study with you or a webinar with you. So it's just a unique opportunity to be able to partner with some of these very dynamic companies that have very, very interesting ideas. And it provides a lot of flexibility with businesses at relatively low cost to be able to experiment with these technologies, as opposed to going immediately to a more established vendor where it's very, very expensive, and trying to justify that ROI will get bogged down in bureaucracy as it goes up the chain. I think there's a point for that, but these smaller companies help you make the case for what technologies worked. And when it does come time to investing in something larger, then you have a better basis on which to justify that.